It's been a long time since I've made a video for public consumption, hasn't it? Let's discuss Worms W.M.D. Or more specifically, what's wrong with it. I don't want to bury the lead on this. Some background on my relationship with Worms. My first was Armageddon on the Dreamcast. I liked it so much I bought the Worms triple pack for PC, and I didn't even have a PC. I'd just take it to a friend's house and play there. I had some fun with world parties since it was just more Armageddon. Though the HD remaster wasn't well received, I enjoyed the 3D variants despite some minor complaints, like not having first-person view while moving. Revolution and Clan Wars I liked. Reloaded was... So here we are, 2020, Team 17 teasing some new Worms thing this year, with another design change for our familiar invertebrates. And not much else to show. I recently sat down and played a bunch of W.M.D, which I just hadn't gotten around to yet. Before I begin to complain, I have been enjoying it. The in-game mechanics, physics, and controls feel very solid. It feels like Armageddon. And frankly, that's the 2D Worms gold standard. Despite what I'm about to say, the people behind the Worms did manage to get the most important part right. Golf claps all around. Over time, the series has added some simple creature comforts like gamepad support and changing the zoom level. But let's talk about what's new for W.M.D. Buildings to hide in, and vehicles, like the drill boats to accidentally strand yourself on the water under the map. And crafting. It's another thing to remember to consider every turn, and you can feel punished for forgetting to. You can do it between turns, which can lead to a feeling of never getting a break. But on the other hand, it adds variety since there are essentially 3 versions of most weapons. But on the first hand, that variety is often just a way of repackaging things that existed in previous Worms games as their own items. Outside of gameplay, the UI can be clunky. It's hard to show, but it generally just feels bad to use. Good news though, I can type in 2 text fields at once. At least it will only recognize the last selected field as final, and this does take mixing mouse and gamepad input. But I discovered this accidentally. Also, games love unskippable logos these days. Now, that's all minor. Alone, not a big deal. The real problems stem from the online implementation. At launch, there were differences between the PC version and the PC version. Only recently was a Steam player able to play with GOG players. This wouldn't have been a problem if we had options for direct IP connection like Armageddon had. Relying on external servers means eventually the online play will break, and you'll just have to hope someone fixes it. If you want to make user-generated content, finding the editor isn't obvious and finding documentation isn't easier. As an example, the help link in the editor links to a 404 error. Having to find important information for making maps buried in a comment on a Steam discussion is not a good look. How big is the worm sprite? What's its hitbox? Thanks to Snowcone Guy for this valuable information and screenshot I dug up. Just to test it out, I made this tiny building. Welcome to Cup of Sunshine. A sad one-table cafe monument to my inability to use Inkscape. It is through creating and testing this simple item that I am now able to tell you how they botched up the custom content process. Want to make content? You'll be forced to rely entirely on the Steam Workshop infrastructure. Want to open the editor while not logged into Steam? Nope. Want to be able to save and test your content offline? Nah. You need to sync with the workshop every time you start up the game if you want to test your work. This is all nasty engorged trash. Almost enough to make me forget that on custom maps, this is a thing that happens sometimes. Mysterious quantum gap. But is it really there? Gap aside, if it's all reliant on the Steam Workshop, how do you use user-generated content with the GOG version? You don't. A major part of the game they just don't get. All in all, it's a shame that a good game comes in a less than great wrapper. Maybe it's fixable, but it's 4 years later, so I'm not holding my breath. I can't hate it, but I can't pretend some of these decisions are excusable either. Team 17 has never managed to usurp their own Armageddon game, even after a couple decades of trying. But they came very close on this one. So pour one out for Boggy B. And I'll look forward to not making another video for you to not watch in the future. Thanks for watching my little pilot experiment. I intend to make more, So subscribe if you're into that. If you liked it, like it. If you really liked it, I have a sponsor's crowdfunding link in the description. I hope to see you soon. Or someone soon. Anyone really. Bye now.